All right, I want to show you guys what we've been cooking up. Hold on. So there's little hints throughout your life that you're going to find this, and you're going to notice these are real. If you want to know what a $1.5 million bill looks like, this is what it looks like. Now, I'm not going to show you everything. We are going to disclose it, aka discharge mortgages. We're not going to use that vocabulary. We're going to say honorably hold standards to mortgages, aka the utility. You will see that it discharges it, and you'll aka get the $1.5 million. The issue is that people think that they have to wipe it away, get rid of it to build or get that value and equity back. That's not what we're doing here. We're just going to create our own money, just how we created the money in the first place. So we're going to teach you how to do that. But I want you to not get trapped in the fear. Do not get trapped in the fear. I say it last time. Do not get trapped in the fear. There's little things you'll notice throughout life that you'll see everyone else is kicking on to. Look, this is from a company that takes care of lease agreements. Again, lease agreements are money. People are not aware of that. So look, here's how do I fucking flip this thing around? Does anyone know how to flip this around? All right, so don't mind the mess. I don't know if you can see that. This is right there. What does that say? Former tenants that owe a debt, you do not require a court or tribunal order, and consent is not required to report a valid debt. Current tenants that owe a debt, consent is not required, and you do not need a court or tribunal order. Now, this is for leases. Paper, contract. What does this also mean? Hey, if you created your own lease, if you created your own contract, now there's a couple very, very key point and highlighted leverages in here, tools, sharpened contract knives in here, aka joiner fees, tacit agreement structures, all that stuff that makes this 1.5 million more legit than even if the treasury minted $1.5 million contract bill right now. Trust me. I have been on the government contracting side. I've been on that side, and everyone's waking up there and seeing that, how unsecured that is. Create your own security. No one's saying that you can't compete with the rest of the money out there. Your lease agreements are money, although you're only competing against that currency. All the other lease agreements, the market. So, what do you need to do to counteract your mortgage payment? You need to create a currency that's transmutable between the two. Does that make sense? It's not about wiping away the mortgage. It's not about getting rid of the mortgage. It's about putting back in your balance sheet and correcting the balance sheets for everyone, the mortgage side and our side. Now, we know what we always look at on the homeowner side. We look at it as, hey, we have a liability. It's a debt. That's not how this is. So what you need to do is to transmute that. You need to shift that liability. Even if that's the perspective we're going to sit in as if this is not fake mortgage money, let's keep it real. We'll keep it honorable. Okay, we're not going to just discharge it. We're just going to highlight, aka bring light to this. aka, what does this book say to do? Agree with thy neighbor on the way to court. We know the argument, the conflict of mortgages, highlighting it. I don't care what it is. The discussion alone is there. So we need to make the discussion agreeing with them. I accept your goddamn fiat fake mortgages that you have no fucking original documents on, and you can't prove the chain of title, and you can't prove you bifurcated and sold it 10 million times, and you can't prove that it was funded before even it got to the closing table and the full security audit, forensic report, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what the argument is. That's the key point. Keyword, argument. Get rid of it. Hey, I agree with you. And then fill in the blank. I agree with you, whatever it says, but I hold rights to protect myself of the open liability that this also creates. What is that liability? The liability of the standards they can't prove. All of the security issues they have to their paper and money, aka the mortgage, which we all know is that industry had tried to go digital years ago, aka if they want to hold real estate money, title, deeds, mortgages as legit, they have to stop hearsaying it through title agents and title agents rubber stamping stuff and clerks rubber stamping stuff and pushing things through. And why do they do that? Because they don't have the knowledge and the tools of this. They do, it's just confused and a cult to them, because even Harvard University last month was trying to use retail law as to vocabularize this all as this, and it's not. It's commercial law. And commercial law is not law. It's international law. Lex mercantile. You can get into merchant law, all that stuff. Again, there's a whole bunch of different language out there to manipulate misinformation. It's not about misinformation. It's all the same information. It's just colored differently. You need to look through the color and see the utility behind all these words, because they are not black and white operating, even how they want to black and white operate. So if you're not going to follow the black and white law, well then fuck it. We're going to use everything. Okay, we're going to use our own black and white, deed and repentance. Am I lying? Am I fraud? Absolutely fucking not. I'm repenting for the unclear contract agreement I made with everyone, because I was the maker on those. The homeowner are the makers of the mortgages. It's not a contract where there's two parties contracted, and even though they try to keep it into private contract law, when in reality they're trying to leverage the idea of natural law. They're trying to leverage the idea of sovereign law. But as soon as you say sovereign, as soon as you say merchant law, instantly conspiracy, instantly you can't use that. Don't bring that up. So again, don't bring up the argument. Just do what they do. Use the utility of things. Use the tacit agreement, the silent conditional agreement. Oh, you're clueless about these words and how they utilize, and you want to play the black and white game? Go ahead. Stay silent, just how every other homeowner stays silent when you do that on them. I'm telling you guys, these guys are dumb. Go look at Harvard. They're dumb. They're brilliant on what the seat and position they hold, because that is what enacts through them. AKA the subconscious, the quantum mechanics, the Akasha records, the spirits, the entities, I don't care how, the ego, whatever it is. Blessings, pure genius, intellect, thought, idea. I don't care how you want to describe it, motherfuckers. You have to understand the utility behind it. And you also have to understand it does get pushed your way when we start enacting it the right way. We have to stop communicating in words. Let me catch myself there. We have to stop communicating in words and start communicating in written word, aka higher than the word, so that we can get back to the trust of the word. But since all the written words, there's no trust in the written words, the laws, the statutes, everything else, you can't do that anymore. So we have to start getting back to, all right, start from the basics, get back to this, getting trusted, original documents, physically attached, glued. Now, if you want to digitalize this and do the whole blockchain algorithm stuff, go right ahead. But I'm telling you, if you don't have the standards and the statutes of that good book, and I don't care which, there's 3 or 4 that most people have publicly accepted. AKA, there's no voting system out there that says, let's all vote for this. Those are the statutes we're going to agree on. That's not how that works. Again, it's about prayer. It's about the religion. It's about how many people believe, whatever that's in that. I'm telling you, if you use it for what we're using it for, a contract, and just go through the entire thing as if everything's in the perspective of us, how do I shift the perspective to how they're talking about a contract? You will start waking up to how you can actually start using their bills of exchange and start billing them. Stop taking this to fucking court. Stop taking shit to court. Stop taking shit to the public general mediation court. Stop taking shit to the public mediation political legislation that runs the court. Stop taking shit to the public general. Keep it private and sovereign. You want to be an American, that's what America is. Laws are not what America is. The lawless, the sovereign, is what America is supposed to be. And it's up to an individual us. And if you're an individual us, a man or a woman, sitting in a seat or a position or a title or corrupted with items, strange contracts, strange marriages, contracts, tacitly agreed to, aka you have never rebutted or made your claim, your higher statement. You can't just say, I mean, at least reference something in there, you know what I mean? But you got to do it. And you got to start doing it how they tell you to do it. The word of mouth to our neighbors, to mouthing off, to putting on social, Nick Shirley out there trying to, highlight the fraud. But what's the issue? They're leaning on that general public mediation company. The legislation, and you can see that. You try to play their fucking game, they're going to play the game right over you. They're going to start creating bills, legislation bills, that have compelling power. That's what you need to understand. A bill is the same, whether it's a legislative policy political bill or it's a monetary bill. And you need to understand these aren't just monetary bills. These are both. That's the beauty of bills and contracts. It's like a fucking transformer. You can take all these little things and put them together as a mechanic and an engine, and you have this transformer. This has multiple things. So the structures in here, you can technically be your own judge and jury. You can technically write your own laws in here. And this is why they don't want everyone to know this, because they have a fear that if everyone knew this, every criminal, a term and language they create in their own system, will be out there using this as Satan in very bad ways so that they can't do it for whatever way they want to. Good or bad, doesn't matter. It's about who can do what. So, yes, I know the heat and the fire we're taking, saying we can discharge, aka honorably hold standards to the mortgage industry. I know the heat and the flack that will come about, you're trying to destabilize the American economy. I'm not destabilizing anything. I'm standardizing and strengthening. Now, what does that take? It takes at every cycle. 1933, the gold standard. Right now, the digital currency and the cash cycle. Again, we're in a transfer. And the beauty of this transfer is we don't have to wait for a commercial Federal Reserve Bank. Again, that's a commercial, independent, non-government bank. AKA you. You can be the Federal Reserve. I can be the Federal Reserve. I am the Federal Reserve. Not, AKA the direct quotation, but the utility of that company, that industry of creating money that has real security behind it, aka contract, purpose, legitimacy, utility, standards of how a money system should operate. Then it becomes, we start changing. We can't rely on that government to change. And we can't create our own government. You're just recreating that cycle again. You have to understand how economy and civilization should be structured. And there's little economies out there and little structures out there. If you want real world examples, go look at how they do it. And go see every other faults they have. In Revelations, Jesus shows it in his time. There are other structures, economies out there, communities that are in accordance and agreement with the same standards outlined in this. When it's outlined in there, it shows you this works. Why aren't we using it? Why aren't we using it? Why? Because they got us way too confused on what shit is. They got us so feared, mind, and locked that when you try to go be your own Federal Reserve, when you try to go create your own contracts, even though you already are, you're going to start thinking, oh, wait, I'm sending these to judges and clerks. Oh, wait, they're going to send a sheriff after me. Oh, wait, someone's going to catch on that I'm destabilizing the entire mortgage market. Someone that has a large investment pool of their own capital wealth, aka in that currency, and they're too fucking lazy to transfer it into a correct currency, aka go look at The Big Short, the movie. Donald Mullen Jr. He was too lazy to have standards to fix the system. What did he do after that? He joined the motherfuckers. And believe it or not, which is it? Not that one. One of those in there is actually to him. Yes. I am taking his money. So when we talk about wealth transfer, when we talk about money transfers, generational, not generational because then you get stuck in the family line, but just repeated economic cycles because the system hasn't stabilized and fixed how it should be operating. So what we're going to do is do what we do. We're taking the money. And it's not about taking the United States dollars from them. Again, we don't want that. That United States dollar is no trust behind it. Or anywhere in the system, political, legislative, judicial, even down to the smallest branches right now, you're seeing it. Anyone with a seat of authority is in that corruption right now. Any man or woman sitting in a title, position, or authority. I'm not saying you can't have leadership without that. That's not what that book tells you. You can have leadership. You can have community. You can have organization without those seats and titles and powers. You can have it without those entities, without those dominions, without the demons, without what we optimistically believe in angelic. Oh, we can do so much good with this power. Go look at the recent Tucker Carlson and Kevin O'Leary fucking interview on podcast. Tucker's on the point. Tucker understands the utility. He just hasn't gotten to the full tool yet. The black and white, fine details, fine print in those contracts that you need to do it. But he's very, very aware of how a system is supposed to be structured and not structured. And there's others out there you can see there, but you might question like, well, why isn't there stuff picking up? Why isn't there stuff picking up and like catching on and getting spread and like miraculously overpowering everything else? Because it is very, very hard. I am telling you, no one is perfect as good as that man. And hopefully we will see one or a few of those in our time because we are in that time in the book. But in the storyline, in the quantum mechanics, in the reality of things that at any time anyone in society could bring this on, any world or realm could bring this on to themselves. And we've been on the brink of this multiple times already. And again, everyone's on that fear of mass action and mass shifts. It's not mass action and mass shifts. It's into the unknown. And when it's unknown, that's where the massiveness of the weight of it, the unclarity, the fear seeps in. So I will be using the words and the vocabulary like discharge, Federal Reserve, and I at no point mean that I represent them at all, or any slandering on them, or any destabilization of their currency and their system. I'm here just to highlight the standards and the difference between the two systems and the currencies and how they interact with each other, and how they compete in an international world of economies and wars that go on. Yes, wars. Yes, Middle East. Yes, it's been going on for generations. What is the big religious war there that gets facially painted over by something? Money. How the money operates. Not saying money is all bad. Value and trade and exchange is good. It's just how we operate the money, the currency system, aka America, is very, very interest heavy. Usury of money. This book and most all religious other books warn against that, state against that. No book out there besides probably a book we independently wrote as our actual human, full, egotistic, non-entity, seat, power, how those books are written and stuff. If you can believe how that stuff works or not. I don't care if you really believe it. You can go just look into quantum mechanics and how everything kind of operates. If you need that science information, if you just need the science information, just go to Scientology. Like, you'll get that that language of everything. If that's not going to be you need more of a spiritual language, go to the spiritual side. It all says the fucking same thing, people. Come on, wake up. Like, even that term, like the whole woke community, like, it was good and then it was bad and then it's good and it's bad. Like, language needs to stop being used as a fucking weapon. We need to start seeing the utility behind everything, seeing everything. Because these want to read and then interpret through our own abstract glasses. These abstract glasses are our own mindsets and perspectives, our own abuse, childhood trauma, aka attachment theories, that makes, even though those are all black and white, when I look through them, that black and white looks different than someone that has a different attachment theory and look through them. And that's just how shit works. So it's about how to put enough of these fucking attachment theory fucking lenses in this book contract so it appeals to everyone. Something that these books try to do with, aka the occultness of it, the trying to give you a storyline that's real, but paint the picture and the description of the abstractness so it applies to all language, all religion. This isn't even fucking English. Yet we use it as English and we understand it, and then we can start using the storylines, the metaphors, the connections. Like strange marriages, people take that as like full-on marriages and stuff. Like Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs, I don't know. I'm not very good at that. Don't try to take me to that book. And I don't represent any of that book either. I just believe in that it is the highest authority out there. It is the highest power out there. I'm not anyone to represent that book. I haven't used it. I mean, I intrinsically naturally use it just like everyone else does. They can intrinsically know what's good and bad. And some people get trapped in that, the power, which again, this may be gate kept by a few just Marines for a little while, just because we do have to be careful with the painting of the word of discharge and the honorable, ethical utility behind this. It's the exact same fucking thing, but if you start saying discharge, people hearing it will instantly just think you're a dick. You know what I mean? You don't hold debts, you don't do this. And it's not about that. It's about standards. It's about what security really means. I'm telling you, they can throw their 3-letter agencies on their stuff, ACC, FBI, DOJ, AG. I don't care. I've been through them already. Trust me. I've spent the year going in and out of those agencies. They have nothing. And this is it. That's the beauty of when you actually are the meek, you are the ones going through the problems. You are the ones with the blessings of the problems. The bigger the problem you have, the bigger the wealth you have. Trust me. And now this tool will be the easy transmutable tool for that. One of the biggest problems everyone has out there, okay, the biggest liability checkboxes out there is their mortgage. And if it's not, let's say it's all free and clear and everything, I'm pretty sure you can understand and see other things in your life, other authorities, controls, dominions, demons coming in and controlling things. Well, those controls and things, you'll be able to take the contract structures in these, the tacit agreement, the joiner fees, the silent agreements, there's too many to ramble off. The witnesses, the serial numbering, there's too much. It's learning how to mint your own money. But when we try to movie picture that, we're brainwashed into thinking, oh, I need the United States dollar press, and I need to know what the watermark is, and I need to fucking create a fake bill that looks like that United States dollar currency to go use. No. You just need to know how a contract works. If you know how a contract works, you can easily go into Home Depot and actually utilize this. I am telling you. Obviously, that's not the general public. They're not going to have that skill set to be able to do that because it's a Epstein skill set. Yes, it is an Epstein skill set. It's learning how to satanically contract people, control them, be a dominion. These people that are receiving these bills, invoices, they're stuck. I am controlling their lives right now. And I understand that weight. I understand that power. The problem is, people that are in my position that also understand that, they're scared. They're fearful that if they give this away to everyone, there's going to be too many Epsteins out there. You wonder how he's able to do things good and bad. But the bad things you're really worried about, everyone. How is he able to do the bad things and get away with it on both our law and the higher law? Because the higher law has rules too. And they have to also abide by the contracts. And a contract isn't fucking screaming out the fraud. It's notification and bringing light to it, but you have to understand the full claiming process. Just how when you have a filing suit in the judicial system, the man-made system, you then have to do a proper procedure of that notification. You have to properly put it on the correct forms and formats and blah, blah, blah. And we have way too much fucking confusion and requirements to keep you from doing it. I'm telling you, when you take it private, it's a lot simpler and easier. Even though we think international is a bigger dominion and everything. Well, with that, the bigger dominion you have, the less complexity you have. Meaning international law is actually common sense, simple. It's only when you get dragged into those disagreements in those courts where they have all this stuff, these laws, these statutes, these policies, these acts, these whatever that they want to just throw in there, whenever, wherever. You don't need that. You need common sense, aka contract. You need common sense, aka a contract. Start being lawless, motherfuckers. Start being a sovereign citizen. That's what that book wants you to be. It does not want you to set up a government. It wants you to set up a cult government, shadow government. Stop letting them think and use it because that's the only one out there using it right now. Bad people using this stuff. We have to not have the fear. We are good. This is honorable to discharge these debts. Trust me. Don McMullen Jr., you go read through his. This is how insanity this is. Go read through this. Maybe you can find it on, maybe not. That's why I have this printed out so that it can't get deleted. But go through it. Yeah, if you look at it at a capitalist business perspective mindset, 100%. And if you go talk to a capitalist business mafia warlord, that would be their language. Money. How can I talk about money so well that the general public is so clueless how illegal it is? As long as I don't use any illegal words in it, people won't notice. This guy has 3 or 4 businesses set up as independent businesses saying, hey, I'm an independent financer, lender. Hey, I'm an independent title agent, mortgager. Hey, I'm an independent bank, not connected to these other guys. Okay, let me first paint the picture of what's right and wrong. What's right is that it should not be connected to those guys. Why? Because it's called racketeering. There's breaches of fiduciary responsibilities to the client, not to who fucking pays. Well, the client has access to who pays them, but not who the fucking CEO or whoever is dominion controlling over your job. They have to stay separate. And if you look at his public statement, he wants a vertical company. Then all the standards go out the door. just how they currently want and it currently is. And when those standards go out the door, it becomes, there's no registry. There's no nothing. There's no standards. There's no physically attached documents. There's no checks. All they have to do is go to their own company and say, hey, is that right? Is the accounting right on that? Can we jump that up 50K? The fees are actually, yeah, let's jump that up to 100K with the fees. You know what I mean? Because there's no one accountability checking them. It's a vertical fucking business. The title agent will check them. The title company will check them. No, they own the title company. Again, it's separated businesses and everything else, but go read the letter. It's signed off by them. They're so fucking complacent and ignorant. They will literally, and I saw someone on Instagram the other day, they literally are telling people, hey, you want to buy a yacht? Don't buy it from the fucking yacht broker or the actual owner. Just figure out who owns the loan, and go buy the loan from them and then foreclose on the guy. Okay, that's racketeering. You're trying to hide your motives. That's when you start using contracts wrong. You start using satanically instead of angelically. So this discharges debts. Now, but if I say it discharges debts, people instantly think, oh, it's a satanic thing, and they're going to have resistance against it. Now, if I say, oh, I'm honorably holding standards to the mortgage market and industries, then obviously it becomes an angelic thing, even though the words on it that everyone can look at are exactly the same. But how we speak it, because people are too clogged up to see the occultness, the utility behind it, not through these eyes, through this eye. I don't care if you're looking at my third eye spiritually, my brain, like, it doesn't matter. You have to stop getting afraid to hone in on whatever you think it is. Stop getting afraid you're wrong about the utility behind it. Use whatever language you need. Third eye, my brain, whatever. Intellect, someone give me the thought, the process. I'm not the only one out here. Go find Cal Washington. Go find Andrew McDonald, Fellowship Education Society. These guys, they understand natural law. They understand private. They understand what conspiracy triggered word they want to call sovereign citizen. I don't know how we've gotten to that being a conspiracy word when it's throughout that book. And if you know the difference in that book, then you know the difference between Rome government and Jesus. Like, goddamn, like, I'm pretty sure an 8-year-old would pick this all up and understand it better than most adults. Just because we've been so brainwashed. And just using that word, again, I use that word and it's going to deflate my authority and value that you're hearing this and connecting with us. Just because I'm trying right now to test you. The gatekeeping to this power, if you want it, is getting through all your stigmatized, emotion-charged words. Psychic paper. Can you see the picture? I'll stop blabbering on, but stay tuned, guys. It's coming. Power to you.